Just before Lizzie kicked for touch, Rocky Clark goes, you need to make sure this makes touch. And I was like, oh, fine, this means I need to chase it. And so I just started running as fast as I could. And then lo and behold, the ball didn't make touch and it bounced and it went straight in my hands and then charged straight through and over the try line.
So you're saying that it wasn't luck at all, you knew exactly what you were doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'd rehearsed it.
Hey, how are you doing? Thank you very much for hitting play on the latest episode of the Women's Rugby Show. I, as the whooshing name banner below me suggests, am Adam Zolty. And if you've seen us before, you'll know, and if you haven't, you'll soon find out. This is the #1 digital program which champions all things women's rugby. Now, we've got a great show for you coming up, but before we do any of that, please, before you do anything, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. What it basically means is that every time we put up a new video, you will be notified. And if you're on social media, which I know you are, I know you're on social media, follow us. The handles are right here. But above all of that, above any of what I've just said, please, 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 if you've got friends that love women's rugby, and if you've got anyone that loves rugby in general, pass on the message about this show. Tell them about the Women's Rugby Show. We've grown really quickly since we launched at the end of last year. We've got loads of new followers, we've got loads of new subscribers, and the only way that's going to keep going is if you tell people about the Women's Rugby Show. We've met loads of great fans, we've met loads of great players and loads of great clubs, one of which I'm here today. And yeah, it's because of this fantastic community that this channel is growing. So please keep the ball rolling, keep the rugby ball rolling, and tell your friends. Right, as you can see, I am Sans Bex today. She's not here, which can only mean one thing. She's allergic to wasps and sharks. Yeah, as you can tell, I am here at Twyford Avenue, the home of London Wasps Ladies, or Wasps Ladies, and they are going to be playing a game against Darlington Mowden Park Sharks. Now, these are two teams that we haven't yet covered on the Women's Rugby Show, and I'm absolutely buzzing. See what I did there, Wasps? Anyway, I'm buzzing to cover this match. Now, coming up, we've got interviews with players and hopefully coaches from both sides, and we know that you love seeing those, and we will have exclusive match footage as well. So don't go anywhere for that. That's coming up a little bit later on in the show. But first, let's take a look at these two sides. Right, so let's start with the home team, Wasps Ladies. Now, they're currently sitting 4th in the Tyrrell Premier 15s, and with Wasps, you kind of know what you're getting. They're not the highest scoring team. If you look at the Tyrrell Premier 15s table, they're actually ranked 5th in terms of points scored. So that's kind of in the middle. But where they do shine is they are 3rd in the table when it comes to defence, when it comes to number of points conceded. So I guess for them, defence is the best form of attack. Now, they are at risk today because later on, Gloucester Hartpury, they are playing Saracens, and if Gloucester win, then they can actually overtake Wasps in the tables. That's something that they definitely don't want to happen. So a couple of names to look out for Wasps. We'll go into the team sheet a little bit later on in the show as the sides are coming out. But first of all, look out for the wing Abby Dow. She might be familiar to some of you that know and love women's rugby. She's one of those EPS players for England. Now, this is the first time she plays since October 2018, which is quite a long time. So hopefully she'll grab a couple of tries today. Another name to look out for the home team is in their back row. They have a 17-year-old playing called Maud Muir. Now, Maud is the youngest ever player to represent the black and gold. So it'll be interesting to see how she copes with the demands of top-level women's rugby. Right, now onto the other side of the pitch. It's the visitors' DMP Sharks. DMP, they're not propping up the table, but they're not far away. They're currently 9th in the Tyrrell Premier 15s. They've not done so well, really. The last 5 games have only scored 5 tries. Now, granted, one of those tries was in a very narrow 7-5 victory over Bristol Bears. So they do have the ability to beat sides above them. A little bit of extra incentive for them is that Furwood Waterloo Ladies are one above them in the table. They're playing Loughborough Lightning as we speak, as this show is being recorded. So by the time the game kicks off for the Sharks, they may know that if Furwood are defeated and DMP Sharks can win today, they will leapfrog them into 8th place. Okay, they're not going to be probably challenging for the playoff places, but it's good to get that momentum towards the end of the season, and it's a good morale booster. Again, we'll go into the sides a little bit later on in the show, but the big news for the visitors is that Tamara Taylor returns for the first time, World Cup winner. She plays, well, hopefully she plays today. She's on the bench. It's her first match after 9 months out with an ankle injury. So it's great to see her back, great to see her involved in the squad. And hopefully, if, as and when she comes on, she will have an impact for her side. Right, the last time these two sides met, it was, I would say, a demolition by Wasps. They won 38-0, and that was back in round 7, I believe. It's going to be one of those games where I think the weather is going to play a very big part. As you can see, I'm in a big coat, I'm wearing gloves. By the time you probably see me at the end of this video, I'm going to be wearing a scarf, maybe even a hat. It is absolutely freezing. And that will affect, I can imagine, a lot of the players out there today. But I just can't see this being anyone other than Wasps' game. They've got too much quality. And unfortunately, I think Darlington are going to be heading back up north with another loss under their belt. But as usual, that is just my opinion. I am just one person. So yeah, I wonder if we can see if any of the fans are around and we can ask them what they think. Talk to us, both of you, maybe a little bit about Wasps' season. Sitting 4th in the Tyrrell Premier 15s. You know, they're known for definitely beating the sides below them, not so strong against the sides above them. Why do you think that is?
To be honest, we usually put it down to kind of we swat ourselves in these kind of situations. So we know what we're supposed to do, but we don't seem to execute it against those teams that do put us under a lot of pressure. Because every game's a challenge, but I think when we come up against a side, there's a big psychological element, I think, with us. Obviously, last season we had such a kind of meteoric difference from our season before that to this one, and yeah, I think it's just getting used to playing in those high pressure games and high pressure situations that we're not so used to. We don't have that experience comparison to teams like Saracens and Harlequins who've played in like finals and things year on year. So
can you see yourselves getting closer to that? Because obviously last year you were in the semi-final, the playoffs. This year, potentially, if things go well, it could be the same. Do you think it is just experience, or do you think maybe it could be maybe the addition of some more players, resources? What do you think?
Potentially. I think obviously that's our aim. That's where we want to get to. And I guess it is getting used to those like different players coming in different positions, injuries, things like that. We do tend to get a little bit plagued with that sometimes, but we've got the strength and depth, so I don't see why we can't. That's obviously what we're looking for. So.
Absolutely, you know, you need to set those goals quite high.
Yeah.
So Tom, from your perspective, you said you're a player.
Yeah.
So who do you play for?
I play for Acton, just down the road.
Okay, and what's your position?
Open side.
Open side flanker. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So I was just, not open side prop.
No.
Obviously, you don't look like a prop.
No, not at all.
So from Wasps' side, known for being quite good defensively, we looked at their stats at the start of the show, and they are the 3rd best side when it comes to conceding points. So they don't concede many, don't score too many as well. Why do you think, you know, we've also got some shots of them tackling hard? Why are Wasps maybe so good at the defensive side of the game?
It's just the defensive line. They push up pretty quick every time. Notice that different from a lot of other teams. They won't push up in the line, they'll sort of wait and then go up, whereas Wasps are going up quick every time, put that pressure on, and yeah.
So we're going to be expecting some big hits today.
Hope so.
And for some of the fans that are watching, some of the viewers, who should we be looking out for today? Who should our cameras be focusing on?
Gosh, well, we've got one of our young girls who came up through our development side with under 18s and such, Maud. She puts in some good hits. She's a feisty little one, so I'm looking forward to seeing her play. It's her first start in Prem, so really looking forward to her. I think from a back row perspective, definitely.
So you can both relate.
Yeah. Obviously, Amy's back again, so I love watching her play. I think she's incredible. So I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing them all, to be honest.
It's going to be an exciting game. So definitely. You're expecting points. I'm going to put you both on the spot.
Oh God.
Score predictions, outcome predictions.
I'm hoping for kind of a bonus point and a nil on the board for the opposition, obviously, but that's what I'm hoping for. That's the aim. But they're a feisty side. I think they beat Bristol last week, so it's going to be a good competition, I think.
Same outcome, I'm guessing.
Yeah, somewhere lots to not a lot.
Right, and one last question. This is the Women's Rugby Show. So how did you get into women's rugby?
So my dad and my brother played, and then when I was at school, they introduced it when I was about 14 into PE, and I was always a tomboy, so I loved it. And my PE teacher, she played rugby at uni. She really encouraged it, so she made me go to our local team, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So
brilliant, fantastic. Well, listen, it is very cold, so I'll let you go. Thank you very much, and good luck for today.
Thank you.
Darlington Mowden Park Sharks don't have too many changes from their last match. There's a change at number 8 with Lydia Crossman taking the place of Rihanna Mason, and 13, 14 and 15 all change with Rachel Woosey, Rosie Blount and Kenny Thomas coming in, or in Blount's case moving from fullback to wing. Again, as we've said before, the big news on the Sharks bench is the return of England World Cup winner Tamara Taylor. Looking at the home team's lineup, Katie Mason moves to fullback as Wasps welcome back England international Abby Dow on her first return to the game since October. Garnet McKinder also earns a starting spot on the opposite wing, having notched 2 tries last weekend in their match against Richmond. Louise Dodd rejoins club captain Katie Alder in the centre. She scored 2 tries in her last 3 matches, so definitely watch out for her. And Sammy Graham comes in at scrum half. In the back row, experience and youth combine as Sarah Mitchelson and Alice Sheffield are joined by the youngest ever Wasp to appear in black and gold, as we said, Maud Muir, who makes her first ever start for them and, as we said, is just 17 years old. And one more look out in the second row, Casey Allen, she looking to add to her over 100 caps for Wasps. Lydia, they say sometimes it's a game of two halves, but it was a bit odd today because it was almost a game of three quarters. There was obviously the first half not so good. Second half you came out flying and then it kind of petered off towards the end. How did you view it?
Yeah, exactly that. I think we had an aim to start well this week, but unfortunately we just couldn't hold on to the ball, couldn't get our phases going, and they're a decent team, and when you give them that much ball, we're going to struggle.
Why did you think you struggled in the first half?
As I said, I think we couldn't hold on to our ball, and we couldn't get the phases going and couldn't put pressure on them.
Not to make excuses, obviously it's a very, very cold day. Do you think that contributed?
Nah, I mean, they're playing in the same conditions that we are playing in, so I think we just got to go back to training this week and just look at the game and see where we can improve for the following Saturday.
Obviously you showed glimpses of really impressive play. Just talk us through sort of the two tries in concession.
I think they came off a couple of individual efforts really, and then there was just a bit of support to finish it off. I'd like to see maybe us putting through a few more phases together so we can call it a team try perhaps in a few games to come, but yeah, we managed to get over the line, so that's a good thing.
You've not had the best of seasons, to be fair. What do you need to do? There's obviously only a couple of handful of games left. What do you want to do? What's the aim for the last few matches of the season?
I think for us it's just to do our basics well and build off the basics and set the platform for our backs a little bit better. If we can get go forward ball, the backs, we've got some good backs that are good finishers, so just holding on to the ball, setting a bit more of a better platform, I think.
From you personally, I take it you're only going to be here obviously until the end of the season. Looking forward to going back home?
Oh yeah, I'm really missing home. I'm missing New Zealand, but I'm enjoying my time here. There's a great bunch of girls in this team, and I'm really enjoying playing for the Sharks.
Just not used to this weather?
No, it's too cold.
Well, listen, thank you so much. Go inside and get warm, and sorry about today.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Louise, congratulations.
Thank you.
You got the win.
Yep.
And a try.
Yep.
Am I right in thinking you've scored 3 and 4 now?
Yeah, I think so. God, I try not to keep track of things like that, but that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
So talk us through your try today before we sort of go into the rest of the match.
Well, it was from a penalty kick, and I think we were going for touch, but we won't admit that. And just before Lizzie kicked for touch, Rocky Clark goes, you need to make sure this makes touch. And I was like, oh, fine, this means I need to chase it. And so I just started running as fast as I could, and then lo and behold, the ball didn't make touch, and it bounced, and it went straight in my hands, and then charged straight through and over the try line.
So you're saying that it wasn't luck at all, you knew exactly what you were doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'd rehearsed it.
I mean, the first half itself
Yeah.
was sensational, to be fair.
Absolutely.
There was some sublime tries, some tries from all over the park, from the pack, from the backs.
Yeah, the work rate was just incredible. Offloads were on. We made a few ball handling errors, but with the amount we were making, it was bound to happen. And that was the best offload game I think we've played this season, and it was on fire. Yeah, loved it.
As good as the first half was it frustrating to come out after the break and concede 2 tries?
Yeah, well, Giselle says in the team room we're yet to have an 80-minute performance, and so that pressure was on us for the second half, and yeah, they made a great interception, and we tried to carry on that flair game a bit too soon, I think, and we didn't earn the right to, and then they got 2 great tries from it. So yeah, good, well done to them.
Was it a case of lack of concentration, or were you trying too hard, or do you think they just sort of deserved to get back into it?
I think a bit of both, a bit of all three. Yeah, lack of concentration, and then a couple of times we called for the ball, but then it wasn't on, and we just tried to force it. And yeah, they read the game, and they deserved those tries that they got. So yeah.
You've got a couple of players that are back into the side, or certainly the likes of Abby Dow, who hasn't played since October.
Yeah.
And obviously the likes of Amy as well. These players that got these EPS contracts or full-time contracts, how important is it to have them in the side?
As much as it's a 15-man game and one person or 2 people, they just bring that little bit of game knowledge, game awareness, and spirit and fire, and they've both got so much fire within them. You just follow them, and yeah, it's really good to play with them, and it's great to have Abby back, and for her to score that hell of a try just before the end of first half, that was incredible, and she'll have absolutely loved that, because she knew she had pressure on her today, and yeah, she loved it.
And I think in the middle of the park, you and Kate were sensational. talk us about just a little bit about that partnership.
So normally I play 12 and Kate plays 13,
Yeah.
and today Giselle decided to mix it up a bit, and I was playing 13 and Kate 12. Loved it, although that was in attack. So and then in defence we were to switch back, and I was playing 12 in defence and she 13, and I think it worked a treat. Absolutely loved it. A little bit more space, a little bit more pressure at 13, and but absolutely loved it. And me and Kate. Like I've always loved playing with her. Two seasons now, and we're just two little peas in a pod, two little rhinos, and we just now click with each other. So it's really good.
Yeah, you definitely played really, really well together.
Yeah.
So just finally, looking towards the latter half of the season,
Yep.
what's your goal now? Obviously, we can say that you want to win all your games and win the Tyrrell Premier 15s, but what do you see sort of for the next 4 or 5 games now up until the playoffs?
Well, we really need 5-point wins. We really, really want to beat Quinns next week, and we're working our absolute socks off at training to do that. Get 4th place, secure 4th place for the semi-final, and then play our best in the semi and see what happens from there. But I think that's our goal.
How far can this team go?
All the way, absolutely. There's so much passion, so much fire within it, and everybody really wants to. And like I said, a couple of things to fix, and just get that work rate up, and we're good to go.
Brilliant. Well, listen, congratulations today.
Thank you.
Well done on your try.
Thank you.
And good luck for next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cool.
Nora, congratulations.
Thank you.
It was, I would say, a hard-fought win, but the first half you wouldn't have known. Why were you so good, do you think, in the first half?
First, I would definitely just stick to our structures. Took the opportunity when I was there. Second half, we just took opportunities a little bit too often. That's why I broke down. But just stick to the game plan.
So one thing that we've noticed in comparison to some of the other teams that we've seen already this season is that Wasps hit hard. You all go in together. Why are you so strong as a pack going forwards and then as a team defensively?
Well, definitely just individual players. We have very strong, just tacklers. Just really, we have for example, Westy or Amy Cocaine. They're just really good in their speed of the line, and then still making them massive hit. But also the work we do off the pitch. So the S&C we do, the training we do, all that kind of stuff just brings it in together, I think.
Sure. You speak about individual players and individual talents. There was one individual today who made her Wasps debut. She was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And going back to the last question about power and ability, how good was Maud Muir today?
She was outstanding today. She had a really good game, and I'm looking forward to have her in the next couple of games next to me.
Is it surprising to the fact that she is just 17 years old?
It is surprising that she's just 17, but I have seen her playing before, so I was like, yeah, that's the one.
What's she like in and around the squad?
She's a really funny girl. She's just really... I think she's around the squad, you can see a little bit that she's still 17, but when she's on the pitch, has a pink head guard on. She's a little bit switching.
She definitely stands out, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to get to that next step and beat sides that are higher up in the table?
I think for us, we managed to play against them very well. I actually personally think we could play a little bit better against the teams which are below us. But it's just this finishing off and actually playing like we play in a 10-20 minutes, first 10-20 minutes of a game. Play that whole 80 minutes, because that's what the teams which are above us are able to do. They just play 80 minutes, the whole performance. We play at the beginning and then we drop a little bit. So it's just this 80 minutes performance.
With the end of the season approaching and the playoffs and then the final, do you think that you as a squad can get to that next level and keep that concentration for 80 minutes?
I think we can, because I think we are improving through the season like we did last season, and we are going to be dangerous for the last couple of games. So I am positive. It's going to be bloody hard work though.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you very much and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So there you have it. You've seen the action, you've heard from the players themselves, and it is time to say goodbye. What a game it was today. Probably one of the best we've seen in our time doing the women's rugby show. The weather didn't help at times. Some of the handling wasn't as slick and as fluid as other times where, as I'm sure you can appreciate, some of those tries were sensational. And we know you love a good try here on the Women's Rugby Show. We're back inside where it's a little bit warmer, but all throughout the day, you've seen the match and you've seen how well Wasps played. Fair credit to DMP Sharks. They tried to get back into it. A couple of decent tries, but at the end of the day, you cannot fault Wasps for their performance. And if they can keep this up, as the players said, for 80 minutes, then they are going to be a real threat come the playoffs. They might even make the final. Anyway, look, thank you again for watching. As usual, please do hit like on this video. Do subscribe to the Women's Rugby Show. That means that whenever we put a new video up, then you will be notified. Follow us on social media right here. These are the accounts. And most importantly, I said at the start, I will say it again, please tell your friends, tell your teammates, tell everyone, tell your family about the Women's Rugby Show, because if it wasn't for you, then we wouldn't be here now. And if it's not for you promoting the show amongst your friends and family, then we certainly wouldn't be able to get bigger and get better every single show. So thank you very much. That's enough from me, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye.